Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. We are all gathered here at Ankahi TV, and with us are today the President of the Quaid-e-Azam Foundation and Jinnah Library, Mr. Tahir Bhatti. Tahir Bhatti sir, welcome to our show.
Thank you, sir.
TV show. With us also from San Francisco is Zain Jeewanjee, a great name, a friend of Tahir and me and Shaukat Marandia, who is also visiting on the 23rd of March to attend the Pakistan Day celebration in Houston, Texas. And also with me is the lady who arranged the wedding ceremony of Mr. Tahir Bhatti Sahab, Amrit Dilehon Bands, who is an international event planner, and her company name is Anis Event Sahab. Welcome to all of you to Ankahi podcast.
Thank you.
And I want to talk about the Pakistan Day today with Tahir Bhatti Sahab. Tahir Bhatti Sahab, what do you think? How the Jinnah and Quaid-e-Azam Library and Quaid-e-Azam Foundation has conducted today's 23rd of March Pakistan Day?
Today, I think the legacy of Quaid-e-Azam, we have done a good job. Library is open from last over 1 year, and we have lot of speakers came in on every occasion, and we have a lot of celebrities came in, a lot of people attended, a lot of knowledge going out, and so this was the wonderful gathering. It was a full house, and everybody learned something new. Especially we have a young generation. They were there, and he spoke very well about Quaid-e-Azam and Pakistan, and I think so we need to continue that. And that's our mission.
Thank you, Tahir Sahab. Zain Jeewanjee, you were speaker today. You spoke about Quaid-e-Azam, legacy of Quaid-e-Azam's education. Especially you talked about AI. And I want to welcome you that you took a trip from San Francisco. Zain Jeewanjee is a friend of Jinnah Library and a supporter of Quaid-e-Azam Foundation USA. Welcome to Ankahi TV channel. Thank you for coming here today.
Thank you for having me. Thank you.
Jeewan Sahab, we will talk to you about your contribution to Jinnah Library, and with us also is the legendary lady who has done the event planner. Thank you very much for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
The first question is to you, that I flew to Saudi Arabia, to Medina, to attend the Tahir Bhatti's daughter's marriage, arranged by you, and the party planner here is sitting with me on my right. What do you think that your overall vision for organizing a wedding ceremony in a sacred place like city of Medina?
So the plan for the overall vision was to execute what the bride and groom, in this case Hamim Bhatti, Mr. Bhatti's daughter, had always envisioned getting married in a very sacred space, being one with her community in a very controlled religious space, to exchange her vows and a lifelong commitment with her husband now, Raza Wani. So I think that was the biggest vision, to make sure that we stayed true to the sanctity of the space, the sanctity of the family, the community, and their relationship. So that was really our basis.
Very good. What special consideration did you take in your mind? Because this wedding was very close to the proximity of Masjid Nabawi.
Correct. The timing, the flow of the event, to make sure the guest experience was not compromised. More importantly, we had to stay within the rules of the space that we were executing these events. So that was number one in our minds at all times.
What do you think is the biggest logistic challenges of organizing a wedding in Saudi Arabia?
Permissions. We had to make sure we stayed within what was allowed and what wasn't, even down to making sure the entire vendor team, every single person had to have a very strict code of conduct and responsibility, right down to their attire, etc. So managing all of that was very critical for us.
Can you tell us, to our viewer, how closely did you work with Bhatti family during this planning process? And can you describe the decor and ambience you created for the ceremony?
Sure. So we worked very closely with the family, with Mr. Bhatti directly, as well as more with the bride, Hamim. She was very particular on what she could compromise on, what she completely didn't want to, and in the end, the results were very clear. In terms of the decor at the ceremony, there wasn't very much. We wanted to make sure we stayed within, a certain rule book, as I would say, to ensure that the masjid itself was celebrated, the sanctity of the occasion was celebrated. The community, all the loved ones that flew from all over the world for the event, were well taken care of. So that to us was of prime importance.
What lesson did you learn from organizing a wedding in such a unique and sacred setting?
Don't trust the Saudis. Ask for permissions. Make sure everything's in writing. And also make sure everyone had a good time. The food is phenomenal. So after the nikah ceremony, everyone was hosted by the Bhatti family for a very lavish dinner. We also had, as life happens and events happen, there's always emergencies and last-minute pivots. The hotel itself that was right next to the masjid, as well as the family and friends, everyone was very flexible with changes, and they had a great, memorable time.
With your experience of conducting this marriage ceremony, what advice would you give to other planning designation wedding in the religious city like Medina or any other religious city?
I would say embrace it. Not very many people are brave enough, like Hamim is, to make sure she would celebrate a milestone in her life in a holy city like Medina. So don't be shy. Don't be afraid of finding the best of the best vendors. A non-Muslim like myself values and cherishes that opportunity to fly out there and be able to participate in a small way in such a huge milestone for the family. So I would say embrace your culture. Go and seek experiences that are once in a lifetime.
Very good. I know you are conducting the 23rd of May, the reception here in Houston.
Yes.
You're actually involved in that, and you're here for that reason. You have a big meeting with Aga Restaurant this morning. How did you think that this event stands out compared to other weddings that you have organized in your life?
The community that Mr. Bhatti and his family have built, or meeting all of you, everyone is genuinely involved, genuinely concerned, and I think that is not something I get to see every day. Yes, we have lots of South Asian weddings all over the world, but when everyone who is a family friend or a loved one thinks of his daughter as their own family member, that genuine love and care is quite impressive.
Very good. Bhatti Sahab, what do you have to say? You have chosen a event planner who has taken the wedding all the way to Medina. Now in 23rd of May, they're going to do it. What are your views on that?
She's the best.
Wow.
That's it.
That's it.
Thank you.
Well, that says it all. Now we're going to ask to our friend Zain Jeewanjee. Jeewanjee is a classy man of passion, a philanthropist. His heart is a golden heart. And my question to you is, what inspired you to become actively involved in community service?
I think, thank you first of all for that question. I'd read somewhere in the scriptures that namaz dikhane ke liye padho ke jab tak aadat ho jaye. So you start something to show off and then it becomes practically. I'll give you, I think my fundamentals, I have to say it's my mother. My mother was the biggest giver I've ever seen in life. She gave her time, her love and money to anyone who came on the door. In fact, my classmates, even now, and I'm 72 years old, my classmates would tell me, and friends who would come to our house, okay, whenever we came to your house, your mother would not let us leave without we had a meal, we had some juice, we had this, and she would force everybody. So that, your giving starts from there. Community service, very funny, when I first came to the US, which was after I'd already done a career in Pakistan and in fashion, I came when I was 22 or 23 years old to the US, landed here in difficult circumstances, and to explode in the insurance business, which I was at that time, I thought I would do community service to get a lead generation system almost. And it turned into the passion for it, of giving and working together and serving other people. That's how I started into it.
Great, Jeewanjee.
But this was 50 years ago.
Well, your mother taught you well, and mother influenced you for your commitment to giving back. That's a great thing. Jeewanjee, I want to ask you, what motivated you to support Jinnah Library, Jinnah Project in Houston, Texas?
Yes, I think historical legacies, history can be wiped out. You can take artifacts and historical museums and bomb them till they're flattened, and so you can destroy history. Therefore, you have to record it. Many times, if you don't record history properly, the narration that the next generation will hear is the one that's available. So I certainly think, I remember the movie Jinnah and how it was delayed in production so that it skips that Oscar time. So it doesn't get nominated for Oscar. Because if it gets nominated for Oscar, it wins accolades and people will start watching the movie, right? So how do you delay that movie from being released in the United States long enough before it's released? So those are things like that. I've always studied how history can be. The narration must be. So therefore, the first time I heard Tahir Bhatti Sahab told me that you and Shaukat Bhai and Tanveer, first of all, it was the people behind it. I saw, I've seen, Qadeer Sahab, the amount of activity you do in community service across the boards. And I've known you for about a good 10 years now. I've known Tahir Bhai for maybe a little longer, and he's always involved. Shaukat Bhai is involved in community service. So when good people are behind causes, the cause itself becomes like a flower that blossoms. So therefore, that was the interest. And I had very fondness towards Jinnah, and I'm a Pakistani. So obviously, that was the reason why I got involved.
Great. That's a great answer. Zain, how do you see the importance of preserving legacy of Quaid-e-Azam Muhammad Ali Jinnah, father of the nation? And can you tell us, to our audience, how you are instrumental in contributing an AI interactive screen to library, digitalizing the books which are in the Quaid-e-Azam library, and the speeches he's given, a long list of books and the Jinnah papers. These, if they are digitalized and put an AI for interactive, this technology can enhance the Jinnah library to reach every person on the earth.
I think, knowledge has almost become a commodity now in the last 12 to 18 months. So if you look back a year ago when I first, on February 25, 2025, when you inaugurated this Jinnah library, at that time I had envisioned that maybe I can build a monitor screen up there that would constantly run videos and narrations of Jinnah. Today, and the budget that I would have thought in my mind, I can now divide that by 20 or maybe even by 50 and be able to do much more. And what I envision is actually a platform where anyone can come in. There'd be a AI avatar of Jinnah, look-alike, and they could talk to him. They could ask him questions. Say, for example, I would have loved to pose him a question that these are very troubling times in the South Asian and in the Middle East region. How would he have handled it diplomatically?
Wow.
Because he's brilliant, right? I would love to ask him that question. And that can be available now because we can sit with him and train a avatar that thinks completely like Jinnah. So that's what I envision this. I was, initially because the budget would have been an enormous amount to be able to do this 2 or 3 years ago. So I would have said, I will part with Tahir Saab. I'll contribute a small amount. And I think now I'm bullish and I think I can take the whole project myself and do it and deliver it because I have friends in Silicon Valley technocrats who I can pull into this, that are Pakistanis who will help me bring this dream to fruition, inshallah.
Inshallah. Zain, Jeewanjee, if you do that, what impact it will have, the contribution will lead to the younger generation, especially the message you can give to the younger generation, Pakistani American, about the identity and service. And do you think your efforts to digitalize an AI can achieve this message to the young people?
So that's actually a threefold question. Even though it's one question, it's threefold. The three parts to it. Number one is you'll have adverse effect from other countries in the region like Afghanistan, Bangladesh, India. They may want to put their side of the story. As we are all four sitting looking at that screen ahead, I bet you what I'm seeing is very different than what you're seeing. Even though we're in the same time capsule, in the same time module, I'm seeing something totally different than what Tahir Bhatti Sahib is seeing and then what you're seeing. And so that means the narrator's viewpoint, the more people listen to it, history will write it accordingly. So if you look at the Gaza conflict today, how is it going to be narrated 100 years from now or 200 years? It depends whose story more people have listened to. So that's the first part of your question, is what will it do for the younger generation? It's how much the younger generation gets participated and listens to your narration and uses their jinnah. So that'll take a lot of marketing. Why? Because our population of number of Pakistanis in any city is a small number. Whereas in other populations, let's say the India, for example, because they have the Gandhi version of the partition, whose story are going to... There are 20 of you and only one of us. So how will they listen to it? So that's the second part of the answer. The third is the effort you make, the clarity, the professionalism, with honesty how much you bring. Because I believe that eventually, whether it's 5 years, 10 years, 15 years, AIs will start understanding what is the truth and what has been fabricated. So if we can put it in paper and put it out there, how well and how honestly we put it. So putting all the negatives, the positives, everything about Jinnah. So that eventually, historically, 15, 20 years later, I think AI will start sorting out what is right and what is wrong.
Well, Zain Jeewanjee has explained you what a modern technology like AI can transform education, culture, spaces. Jinnah Library and Quaid-e-Azam Foundation is committed to bring the truth about Quaid-e-Azam. The Quaid-e-Azam papers, which is written by Government of Pakistan, 18 volumes. Jinnah Speeches, which is in 4 volumes, both provided by Government of Pakistan, an authentic view and the life story of all Jinnah's papers. And if AI can transform that through your efforts, it will be the greatest service we can give it to Pakistan and Jinnah, father of the nation. Let me ask you my last question. What does Zain Jeewanjee excited or in supporting Jinnah Library, and what does it mean for Zain Jeewanjee to support Jinnah Library personally?
Well, I was born in Kenya, East Africa, and I moved to Pakistan in 1960, and I grew up in Pakistan, and I saw the most exciting times of Pakistan and its short-lived history till 1983, when I came back migrated to the U.S. My love and passion, there was a speech, I was giving a talk in Chicago at a conference, and somebody asked me out of the audience, and they said, "But you're not even a Pakistani, you were born in Kenya." So I told them, I said, "Jab mera aap ye rag kaatenge, to khoon hara hi girega." I'll be a Pakistani, you can't take Pakistan out of me, because I saw the plight of the people in Pakistan. I will also tell you that questionably, and I could be challenged on this, that the most intellect people on the planet would be the Israelis, the Indians, and the Pakistanis. The opportunities given to the Pakistanis are not equal. We get equal opportunity. The breadth and the depth of Jinnah, it has to be shared by the upcoming generations of Pakistanis. Have got to learn ki kaun the. He said brilliance is so deep. Nothing to take away from Gandhi, of course. He's a brilliant man, another brilliant man. But Jinnah, I think, wow, just a wow. And it has to be taught to the generations that will come, not only to benefit Pakistanis, but to human society in general.
Very well said, Zain Sahib. Zain Sahib opened a topic, what other people have said, and Zain has given a very comprehensive, biased opinion about Jinnah. And I know that there was a young man who was an engineer who sailed to Bombay in 1948 And he'd heard about the British Empire leaving India, and he heard about Gandhi's struggle, how he fought for getting the independence. He saw Jinnah and Jinnah's independence. And he was so fascinated with that history that when he came back to America, he studied history, became the professor, did PhD, and then became the chairman of UCLA. And in that capacity, he wrote a book. The book was Jinnah of Pakistan. The author was Stanley Alfred Walport. And in that book became a gold standard for any biography written on Jinnah. And the first 3 lines that he wrote in that book, and I quote, as Stanley Alfred Walport said, "Few individuals significantly alter the course of history. Fewer still modify map of the world. Hardly anyone can be credited with creating a nation state. Muhammad Ali Jinnah did all 3.
Yeah.
This is the biggest tribute from an American historian who is biased, not biased about anything, could give the clarity about the vision of Jinnah. We salute Jinnah for his legacy. Jinnah Library is created to bring the authentic, real Jinnah for the public to be aware how great leader he was. And in this my pursuit, the people who are helping me and helping everybody is Zain, Jeewanjee, our president Tahir Bhatti Sahab, our advisor Shaukat Marandia Sahab, our CEO Mr. Tadveer Ahmed Sahab, and most of all our patronage chief Chishti Sahab, Air Commodore retired Khalid Chishti Sahab, who is in Pakistan. Thank you very much for listening to all the conversation today. I hope you visit Jinnah Library at your convenience in Houston, Texas. Now from Ankahi TV, thank you very much for participating.
Thank you.
Today's discussion.
Thank
you.
Thank you.